The Hunter and the Great Elephant. In a small village deep in the heart of the African savanna, there lived a great hunter named Juma. He was known far and wide for his strength, wisdom, and unmatched skill with a spear. Whenever the village needed meat, Juma would venture into the vast forest where only the bravest dared to go. One season, a terrible drought struck the land. The rivers dried up, the grass withered, and the animals became scarce. The villagers began to worry, for their children were going to bed hungry. Seeing their suffering, Juma took his spear, tied his hunting pouch, and set out alone into the wilderness. For 3 days and 3 nights, he tracked the footprints of animals, but none were large enough to feed the entire village. Then on the 4th day, deep in the forest, he came upon something extraordinary, an enormous elephant bigger than any he had ever seen. Its tusks were long and curved like the moon, and its ears flapped like the wings of a great bird. The elephant was old and wise, and it had survived many hunters before. Juma knew that bringing down such a mighty beast would not be easy. He climbed a tall tree and waited, watching the elephant as it moved slowly through the forest. He studied its habits, its movements, and the way it flicked its ears whenever danger was near. Finally, when the moment was right, Juma raised his spear, took a deep breath, and threw it with all his might. The spear flew through the air and struck the elephant in its heart. The beast let out a thunderous roar, shaking the ground beneath Juma's feet. It stumbled, then fell with a great crash that echoed through the forest. Birds flew from the trees, and the earth trembled. Juma had done the impossible. He had slain the great elephant, but his task was not yet over. Juma took out his horn and blew it 3 times, sending a signal to the village. The sound traveled far, and soon young men and elders rushed into the forest to help. They marveled at the size of the elephant and cheered for Juma's bravery. Together, they tied ropes around the beast and dragged it back to the village, singing songs of victory as they went. When they arrived, the entire village erupted in celebration. Women ululated, children danced, and the drummers beat their drums with joy. The elders blessed Juma, calling him the greatest hunter the village had ever known. That night, a great feast was held. The villagers roasted the elephant's meat over large fires, and everyone ate until they were full. The tusks were carved into ornaments, and Juma was gifted the largest piece as a symbol of his bravery. From that day on, Juma's name was sung in songs and told in stories. He had not only fed his people, but he had proven that courage, patience, and skill could overcome even the greatest of challenges. And so under the bright moon, the village danced and rejoiced, knowing that the spirit of the great elephant would always watch over them. And that is how the hunter Juma became a legend.